News. Welcome to today's headlines. From wherever you listen from, I greet you, and please stay tuned to today's news. Headlines 2023. Any party that failed northern presidential candidates will lose. Politicians denying zoning have been economical with truth. Founders of APC agreed on north-south power rotation. What Southeast Presidency will bring to Nigeria, Minister of Labour and Employment and former Governor of Anambra State, Senator Chris Nwambezo Ngige is the interview spoke on the ringing debate over rotation and zoning of office ahead of the 2023 presidential polls. Ngige, who is one of the founding father of the ruling All Progressive Congress (APC), among others, also spoke in insinuations that the opposition People Democratic Party (PDP) plans to field a northern presidential candidate to beat APC at the polls, and why Southeast should produce President Buhari's successor by Victor Amiha Young, What is your take of the ranking debate over power rotation and zoning? The issues of the rotation of the prime office in the land, even though it is not expressly written in the constitution of our party, APC, is by implications written in the 1999 constitutions of Nigeria. First, I take you to section 14, third of the constitution, which talks about the composition of governments at the national value, states and even local governments in such a way that there should be no element of perpetuation of domination to be any single tribe or group of persons that come from one ethnic nationality, and in such a way that governments at any level is seen to have not been national to engender confidence and patriotism. That is what the constitution says. So the wise men that did the 1979 constitution and 1999 constitution took this onto account, that and all the constitutional conference and legislative bodies of the country, whether national, states, and even local governments legislative council adopted it. That is why the constitution formed the basis of government at these three levels. So in fact, we all agreed, flowing from that constitution, that government at any level, the legislature and executive, and even to an extent the judiciary, should reflect national spread. No particular group should dominate the others. This is also why if they are making appointments to the judiciary, zoning comes in. Those the federal capital principle over covered political parties. Flowing from this, the political parties adopted it when they were considering those who were governed their parties. That is why when you have a chairman, you have a deputy chairman, north, and deputy chairman, south. It is the constitutions of both PDP and APC in the constitution of most political parties. That is also why you have zonal chairman for the south, east, south, southwest, northeast, northwest, and north central. That is also when you have the chairman comes from the south, you have the secretary coming from the north. You also have the deputy chairman coming from the north. In the some place, they have some deputy chairman of the north and south. So all this puts in a holistic basket of power, shows you that it is recognized that because of our diversity, we need to have a platform for unity and diversity. In the same way, when the chairman of all political parties is from the southern part of Nigeria, efforts is made by the presidential standard bearer to come from the north. That is why also there is a deliberate attempt when a president from the south has governed for 8 years for power to shift to the north. And when it is in the north, it moves to the south. So there is an agreement, though not written, for this rotation to take place. Who are those involved in the agreement? It is unwritten agreement on convention among all politicians and political parties in Nigeria. Anybody who is telling you that there is no such convention, norm, or tradition is a liar. Luckily for me, I have been old enough in this country to witness the Second Republic when the presidential system of government was born. Explosion and interference made by the constitution. I was founder member of PDP, and when we formed the PDP, it was agreed that the presidency should go to the south. Somebody like Abubakar Remi of blessed memorial said no, that he must contest. I remember Chief Haudu Obin, Chief Sunday Awo Nigge, Chief Solomon La, and other taking Remi to a corner of the room in Professor Jerry Garner's house, but Remi still insisted on running Sunday's. Awoniyi, who we all loved, started crying. Awoniyi burst into tears, saying this was not what the founding fathers of Nigeria wanted. We were new politicians. Then I and Prof. ABC Nwosu carried Alex Ikweme's bag to the meeting, so we are living witness to this. I am also a living witness to the fact that because of that, Abubakar Remi went and filled expressions of interest and was disqualified in. He came to Jos and insisted on running, but before the casting of votes, he went round the field to announce his withdrawal from the race, and the turf was left for Ikweme, who relinquished the chairmanship of the steering committee of PDP to vie for the presidency. Solomon Lai, a northern, was permitted to take over the chairman of the PDP because all the presidential aspirants were from the south. They include Ikweme, Obasanjo, Nwobodo, Kamlia, and Nosowondo, and the former minister of the labor under Babangida, and all in the neighboring APP. Every collapsed for a southern candidate. He had Odonaya Holu, who had Olufela. We had the billionaires from Ibadan, Chief Harry Akonde. They are stood in house there. Shinkafi and others stepped down. So it is not novel in Nigerian politician history that you rotate a shift power. It is done to make for stability, unity, equality, and progress of the country. In anybody coming to 2003 say that there is no rotation of zoning, that person is being economically with the truth. We started the discussion even before I went to Senate. We started the discussion for the formation of APC between ACN and CPC. After the election, ANPP joined us. Then I now brought APGA with Okorocha. Some people falsified issues to say that Okorocha brought APC to the southeast. It is not true. High-hand Ogbonaya Honum were the fathers of the APC in the southeast. I especially brought in Okorocha, Hani, Okunko, and Osicha Ozunnaso. They are the three leading people we brought into the formation committee. I introduced them during the first meeting at Tom Ikim's house as APGA, factions in Ikimi preceding. So there is nothing there that will be told me as a story. After formation, we put in a 32-man interim management committee serving like the whole working committee member. They were drawn from ACN. We were the senior partners, coming with 6 governors. ANPP had 3 governors, CPC with 1 governors, APGA with 1 governors, and the then ADPP with 1 senator and some House of Representative member. I was the secretary of our first conventions, and I took all the meetings. We held an agreement that our standard bearer was coming from the north, and after north it would come down to the south. So those who were talking today were not there when this agreement was made. Was it written down or signed by politicians from both sides? No, but we had meetings, minutes of the meetings. They were there. It was agreed that it would be a movement between north and south. As we were doing the convention, we narrowed down our candidates to about 2 of 3, but among the candidates, General Buhari was ahead. All of us from the ACN, Councillors, had agreed that he was our candidate. CPC had agreed that he would be their candidate. ANPP was slipped onto 2. So when we went to the presidential convention, he emerged with a wide margin. That is the truth of the matter. With the national convention fast approaching, what is the expectation? We expect that our nation chairman this time around will come from the north, and the presidents and our presidential candidates will come from the south.